Hey, welcome. Today, we are diving into something huge, wealth. But here's the thing, we're not going to start with bank accounts or investment strategies. Nope. We're starting where it all really begins, right between your ears. We're talking about the massive difference between a mindset of abundance and one of scarcity. This idea is captured so perfectly by the legendary Jim Rohn. He basically drew a line in the sand saying, look, what you learn in school, that'll get you a job, that'll help you make a living. But what you teach yourself, that constant hungry self-education, that's what builds a real fortune. So here's a question I really want you to hold on to as we go through this. Is the way your brain is wired by default actually an asset? Is it compounding your success over time? Or is it a liability that's secretly keeping you stuck? And that's because, seriously, your mindset, it is your single greatest asset. So over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack the key habits that separate these two ways of thinking. We'll break it down across 3 core areas of your life. All right, first up, let's talk about how you manage your resources. And I'm not just talking about money here. I'm talking about the invisible assets that really, truly determine where you end up. Okay, so the first huge difference, and this one is massive, is how each mindset treats time. The wealthy mindset sees time as the ultimate currency. It's the one thing you can never get back. So it's something to be invested, right? Put into things that grow over the long haul. On the other hand, the poor mindset often just trades time away for small, quick wins without ever really thinking about the long-term cost. And you know who put this perfectly? Warren Buffett. He said, the rich invest in time, the poor invest in money. Think about that for a second. Most people are busy trying to turn $1 into $1.10. The wealthy are using their time to create systems, knowledge, and relationships that will generate massive value years from now. It's a totally different game. And this idea of time really flows right into the next habit, your time horizon. A wealthy mindset is built on delaying gratification. It's about being willing to plant a tree today, knowing you won't sit in its shade for years. In contrast, a short-term mindset is caught in the trap of wanting it all now, spending resources the second they come in. And Tony Robbins has this quote that it hits the nail on the head. We all get so obsessed with what we can accomplish in the next year, but we totally forget the unbelievable power of 10 years of consistent, focused effort. That long-term vision, that changes absolutely everything. So, what's the big takeaway here? Start treating your time and your focus just like you would an investment. Before you say yes to something, before you spend an hour on it, just ask yourself one simple question. Does this get me even one step closer to my 5-year vision? Okay, so that's how you manage your internal stuff, right? Your time, your focus. Now let's talk about the lens you use to look at the external world. It's all about how you see opportunities, people, and your place in it all. Think about it. When a problem pops up, the two mindsets go in completely opposite directions. The poor mindset's first instinct is to scan for all the reasons it won't work. It looks for obstacles, for problems. The wealthy mindset sees the same obstacles, but its first question is different. It's, okay, so how can this work? This reminds me so much of Thomas Edison. His whole perspective just flips the idea of failure on its head. It's not an end result, it's just data. Every attempt that doesn't work isn't a failure. It's just one more discovery, a crucial piece of information that gets you closer to the answer. It's a process of elimination, not a reason to quit. This is like a mental cheat code. Seriously, you hit a wall, an obstacle. Step 1. But instead of stopping, you reframe it. You tell yourself, this isn't a wall, this is feedback.
That's step 2. That feedback then helps you discover one more way that won't work, and now you know not to go that way again. And just like that, you're one step closer to mastery.
And this way of seeing the world, it doesn't just stop at problems. It's also about how you see people. An abundance mindset builds networks, builds bridges. It sees other people's success as a rising tide that lifts all boats. A scarcity mindset, though, it builds walls. It operates from the place of fear, thinking that if someone else wins, that must mean there's less left for them. You've probably heard this one before, but man, is it true today more than ever. The people you surround yourself with, the ideas they bring, the way they challenge you, the doors they open, that directly fuels your own growth and potential. All right, the last piece of this worldview puzzle is all about your core driver. What's your default question? Is it, what can I get from this situation? That's a consumption mindset. Or is it, how can I add value here? That's a contribution mindset. It's the difference between being a taker and being a giver. And Zig Ziglar just summed this up beautifully. It's one of the great paradoxes of life, right? You don't get what you want by chasing it for yourself. True abundance flows to you as a natural result of helping other people get what they want. Okay, so we've talked about managing your resources, we've talked about how you see the world, but the final piece, and honestly, this might be the most important one, is the internal game. It's all about mastering yourself. Let's be real, the world is always changing, right? Non-stop. A wealthy mindset gets that. It leans into change, sees it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and innovate. A poor mindset fights it. It clings to what's comfortable and familiar, which ironically is the fastest way to get left behind. And how you deal with change, well, that defines whether you're a leader or a follower. Steve Jobs said it best. Leaders are the ones running toward the future to create it. Followers just stand there and wait for the future to happen to them. Okay, the final habit of self-mastery. This one's a big one. It's about your emotions. Look, life is going to throw curveballs at you. The difference isn't the event. It's the tiny space between that event and how you react. Do you let your fear or anger hijack you instantly? Or do you take a breath and choose how to respond with intention? And here's the best part. This isn't something you're just born with. It's a skill you can train, like a muscle. You can literally practice being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can practice creating that pause before you respond. That's how you build real emotional strength. So as we bring all this together, it really comes down to one simple, powerful idea. This is all a choice. Abundance isn't some place you arrive at. It's a direction you consciously choose every single day. And I really want to hammer this point home. This has zero to do with how much money is in your bank account right now. It has everything to do with the quality of your thoughts, the consistency of your habits, and the intention behind your decisions. Those are the things that build your future. So, I want to leave you with a couple of questions to really think about. First, are your daily thoughts, your daily habits, actively training your mind for the wealth, freedom, and fulfillment you say you want? Or, and be really honest with yourself here, are you maybe unconsciously holding on to old limiting beliefs that are just creating invisible walls, keeping you exactly where you are right now? And let's wrap this up with one of the most powerful ideas ever put to paper from Napoleon Hill. Your potential isn't limited by your job or your bank account. It is only limited by what your mind can conceive and truly believe. The choice and all of the power is yours. By the way, if you want to go deeper on this kind of stuff and hear us talk about it in a more relaxed, informal way, check out our podcast over on Spotify. We get a little more personal over there. Thanks for tuning in.